Picture this. Right now, as you're watching this video, there's an invisible force controlling over $21 trillion in global assets. That's more money than the entire GDP of the United States. It's watching every stock, every bond, every investment move happening across the planet, processing 250 million calculations every single week. This isn't science fiction. This isn't a conspiracy theory. This is happening right now. And there's a good chance your money, your retirement fund, your savings, your future is being controlled by it. What if I told you that one single computer system has more influence over the global economy than any government, any bank, or any corporation? And the craziest part? Most people have never even heard its name. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on Wall Street's best-kept secret, a system so powerful that when it makes a decision, trillions of dollars move. When it flags a risk, entire markets can shift. And it all started with one computer, crammed between a refrigerator and a coffee machine. This is the story of BlackRock's Aladdin, the discovery that changed everything. Let me take you back to 1988. A young computer genius named Charlie Halleck is staring at a washing machine-sized computer that just cost his company $25,000. That's like 70 grand in today's money. His boss, Larry Fink, had just given him an impossible task: build a system that could see risk before it happens. You see, Fink had learned this lesson the hard way. Earlier in his career, he'd lost his firm $100 million in a single quarter. One bad trade, one miscalculation, career almost over. But instead of giving up, he became obsessed with one question: what if we could see every risk, every possibility before we put a single dollar at stake? So there's Halleck. In this tiny office, the computer literally squeezed between the break room appliances, writing code that would eventually control more wealth than has ever existed in human history. They called it Aladdin, Asset Liability Debt and Derivative Investment Network. But here's where it gets interesting. At first, Aladdin was just supposed to be BlackRock's private advantage, their secret weapon, but then something happened that nobody saw coming. The moment everything changed. 1994, General Electric has a massive problem. Their subsidiary, Kidder Peabody, has a portfolio of mortgage securities so complex, so tangled, that nobody can figure out what it's actually worth. We're talking about one of the most complicated financial puzzles ever created. GE is desperate. They turn to BlackRock. Halleck feeds the entire mess into Aladdin. The system starts crunching numbers, analyzing patterns, connecting dots that human minds couldn't possibly see. And then it solves it. Aladdin untangles one of the world's most complex financial knots. That's when BlackRock realized something game-changing. Why keep this power to ourselves when we could sell it to everyone else? But the real explosion came in 2008, the financial crisis, bank collapsing, markets in free fall. Panic everywhere. The entire global economy is on fire. And guess who shows up with the only fire extinguisher that works? The US government literally hands BlackRock control of $130 billion in toxic assets from Bear Stearns and AIG. The Federal Reserve trusts them with $1.25 trillion in mortgage-backed securities. The UK government calls them in. Other countries follow. Why? Because Aladdin could see through the chaos. The system didn't just help solve the crisis. It learned from it. It evolved. The hidden network that runs everything. Fast forward to today, let me blow your mind with some numbers. Right now, Aladdin manages risk for over $21.6 trillion in assets. That's not BlackRock's money. That's the money Aladdin watches, guides, and essentially controls. We're talking about 10% of all stocks and bonds on Earth. 1 out of every 4 investment dollars globally flows through this system. And here's what should really get your attention. The client list? Apple cash reserves? Managed through Aladdin? Microsoft investments? Aladdin? Google? Same story. Your pension fund? There's a good chance it's using Aladdin. CalPERS? One of the largest pension funds in the world? Aladdin client. Major banks like Deutsche Bank and UBS, they're plugged into. Insurance giants, sovereign wealth funds, even central banks, including the Bank of Israel, they're all connected to the same system. Think about what this means. When you buy a stock through your retirement account, that decision might be influenced by Aladdin. When your insurance company invests your premiums, they're probably checking with Aladdin first. When governments make financial decisions that affects millions of people, guess what system they're consulting? 55,000 investment professionals wake up every morning and log into Aladdin. That's 55,000 human decision makers all looking at the world through the same digital lens. The power nobody talks about. Now, here's where things get genuinely concerning. Imagine you're one of those 55,000 professionals. Monday morning, you log into Aladdin and it's flashing warning signals about, let's say, tech stocks. The system has run millions of calculations overnight. It's processed news, market movements, economic indicators, even weather patterns, and it's telling you tech stocks are risky right now. What do? You probably start selling. But remember, you're not the only one seeing this. Hundreds of other institutions are getting the same warning. They start selling too. Suddenly, you have billions, maybe trillions of dollars all moving in the same direction at the same time. The prediction becomes reality. The market crashes not because something was fundamentally wrong, but because one system told everyone to run for the exits at the same moment. The algorithm doesn't just predict the future, it creates it. And it gets scarier. What happens if Aladdin makes a mistake? What if there's a bug in the code, a cyber attack, or what if the assumptions built into its model are wrong, like they were before the 2008 crisis? We're talking about a single point of failure for a huge chunk of the global financial system. If Aladdin sneezes, the entire market could catch pneumonia. The invisible hand behind everything. But perhaps the most unsettling part is the data. BlackRock sees everything. Every trade their competitors make using Aladdin, every position, every strategy. They claim this data is walled off, confidential, secure. But think about it, they're running the operating system that their own competitors are using. It's like if Apple was a phone manufacturer, but also ran Android operating system for Samsung, Google, and everyone else. They'd see every app download, every search, every pattern. BlackRock says they don't peek behind the curtain, but they're the ones who build the curtain, hung the curtain, and control who gets to use the curtain. And now they're pushing further. Aladdin Wealth is extending this power to financial advisors who manage regular people's money. They're incorporating artificial intelligence, making the system even more autonomous. They're building what they call a data cloud, essentially turning Aladdin into the operating system for all of finance. 6,000 computers in a data center in Washington state are running calculations 24/7, getting smarter, seeing more patterns, making more connections. Every market movement teaches it something new. Every crisis makes it more powerful. So where does this leave us? Are we heading towards a future where a single algorithm controls the entire global economy? Where human judgment takes a backseat to machine calculations? BlackRock says Aladdin is just a tool, that humans still make the final decisions. But when $21 trillion all follow the same signals, when 55,000 professionals all see the same warnings, when governments and corporations all depend on the same system, is anyone really in control anymore? The truth is, we've already crossed a line. We've given more power to a single system than we've ever given to any government, any institution, any individual in history, and most people don't even know it exists. The next time you hear about a financial crisis, wonder, will Aladdin save us, or will it be the cause? What do you think? Are we too dependent on systems like Aladdin? Let me know in the comments below. And if this video opened your eyes to something you didn't know existed, hit that subscribe button, because there are more secrets hiding in the financial system that you need to know about.